I'm like half a metre behind you. And I'm still my head out of the frame. I'm a very tall person. I have a very long torso. Alright, anyway. Hi everyone, welcome back to Dance Geek. I'm Claire and today I'm joined by... You can say your name now.
Kiara.
I did tell you don't talk because my mic's on and yeah, so that's why she hesitated at saying her name. It's not because she's a dope.
You told me not to talk.
I did, I told her not to. Well, I didn't say don't talk. I'm not horrible. It's just that I've got a mic on, you don't. But the reason that we don't need Kiara to talk today is because we needed her hair. As you can see from the title of the video, this is how to do heatless curls for dance performances. Now, there's two reasons why I'm not using my own hair for this. One, there's not much of it left, and two, I have naturally curly hair, so I don't need to curl my hair. This is not my natural curl. My natural curl is excessive. my son Charlie, that's my natural curl. Alright, so the reason I'm showing you this is because I hate curly wiglets. I hate them. As an adjudicator, I hate them. As a dancer, I hate them. As a teacher, I hate them. As an audience member, I hate them. As a parent, I love them. Because they're easy. Because you just chuck it on over a bun. So I'm not saying don't use them. If you ever have me as an adjudicator, I will not deduct points for wearing a curly wiglet because I am not a petty dope. Pretty much when I say that word dope, I want to say a swear word, but I'm trying to keep my channel clean. Yeah, I'm not petty. I'm not going to penalise you. But I love natural curls. I totally understand that I'm saying that from a position of privilege, being the naturally curly person that I am. I never had to curl my hair as a kid. I don't like group routines where everyone looks like they're trying to be a carbon copy of each other. I think it takes the individuality away from the kids, and I just think those hair pieces, even the good ones, they don't look real. I'm going to show you how to do a variation on rag curls. There are so many ways to curl your hair. I've found that this is a cheap, relatively easy and effective, very effective way of curling your hair. Now, Kiara and I had a bit of a play a few weeks ago, and by play I mean I tried out about 3 or 4 different ways of doing this, and Kiara just sat there and let me do it. She's a sport, so thank you very much.
Okay.
And we found that this one worked really, really well of all the ones I tried. I wanted to find something for you that was relatively easy, but with a good payoff of curl, a curl that's going to hold, something that's not damaging to the hair. Hot rollers are great. Hot curling tong, not so much. Hot rollers will last longer. The curl you get will last longer than a curling wand, unless you really know what you're doing with the curling wand. But heat is damaging for the hair, and for little kids as well. Young kids, sometimes it's a bit, even older kids, sometimes it's a bit, oh, I've got hot rollers on my hair. Our mum used to just say, oh, Beth, get over it, you'll be right. And Beth eventually got over it and just dealt with it. But if you can avoid that, cool. This does take time though, especially if you have, this girl has so much hair. So much hair. It's exhausting how much hair she has.
Guess who gets to dye?
I dye her hair as well. It's due, I've got to fix this
it.
bit. So I know how much hair she's got. But I know how to work with Kiara's hair, so it's alright. But look, Kiara's hair has a natural wave to it. It's naturally quite dry, or drier than it would be oily. And the reason I'm going through all of this is it's like, I feel like I'm describing the skin like a beauty guru. What type of curl method you use is going to affect the type, is going to be affected by the type of hair you have. So Kiara's hair is a bit drier, and it is processed because it's coloured, so we want to avoid putting heat on this as much as possible. Okay, so this is a really good method for that. I'll go through a few different other things whilst I'm showing you the method to curl it, and how you can adapt it for a different type of hair that your dancer might have. This is the equipment you need. Something to dampen the hair, not wet, but dampen. You can just use water. What I'm using is the Schwarzkopf Body and Texturizing Spray. It does give a bit of hold to the hair, a little bit. I wouldn't go with anything that's a stronger hold than 3. You definitely don't want to cake in like gel. You can do this with mousse. I haven't tried it with mousse, so I can't. I assume you can do it with mousse. I wouldn't use hairspray. You really do want the hair damp when you do this. You need some pins, like bobby pins. You might get away with not using bobby pins. The first time we did this, I didn't actually use bobby pins, but it just makes it a lot easier. You need a brush. or a comb, whatever works to smooth the hair. Now, this is one of those underwear bags that you put your bras in or your delicates to go in the wash. I have used these before. These are our curlers. I've used them before, so wanted to wash them, so I just chucked them in one of these so we didn't lose a whole bunch of them. Alright, so what it is, this was an old t-shirt. I'm a massive advocate for using a t-shirt to dry your hair, not a towel, and I've got Kiara into it. I use all my husband's old t-shirts, and this was just one of those that I cut into, in inches. I reckon that's about 2 inches wide, that strip, maybe. Kiara's really good at being a dressmaker. Kiara's really good at this. So what do you reckon that is, Kiara, when it's rolled out?
It's just over 2 inches.
Just over 2 inches. How many centimetres do you reckon that is, honey?
5.5.
About 5.5 centimetres. I wouldn't go smaller than that unless unless the dancer has very fine hair. Then you could go smaller, but even then. Now, because this has a bit of a stretch in it, it's not a full lycra, but it does have a bit of a stretch. Your traditional rag curls are used, you do that with a non-stretch fabric, so like a calico or a cotton. I would recommend the t-shirt because it's cheaper, you've already got it there, and when you use the calico cotton rags, you do need to sew the edges of them so they don't fray, and this is much easier, you don't have to sew. But make sure you go for that full, at least 2 inches wide, because as you can see here when I let go, it rolls back in on itself, so just so you've got enough there to work with. And then I cut them into about, how long is that?
7 inches.
About 7 inches, and for the people who use centimetres, 15 centimetres, do you reckon?
I can more than that.
20 centimetres, let's say roughly 20 centimetres. You can see I haven't...
It's not 20 centimetres.
About that long. I haven't been particularly helpful with the measurements here. There's a ruler in front of us. The reason I'm not really caring much about the measurements is because it doesn't massively matter. It doesn't have to be exact, but if you want exact, this is, geez, you're good. This is 19.5 centimetres. And it's about 7.75 inches, well, 7.5 inches, 19.5 centimetres. Well, she's very good. And
Yay!
And it's exactly 5.5 centimetres wide. Yeah. I just point to things randomly and say...
believe me when I say, yeah, it's that long.
I'll point to things and go, how long's that, Kiara? Just to see how close she is to it, just because I think it's creepy. You don't need a ruler for this. Basically, cut the strips from the t-shirt. Cut your 2.5 inch width strips first, or 2 inch, whatever, 5.5 centimetres exactly. Cut those out, and then go through and just cut roughly 20 centimetres-ish. I would err on the side of more rather than less. Kiara has a question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The length of these strips, does the length of the dancer's hair need to be taken into account?
Not really.
So if you have a dancer with really long hair, do you need more length in this?
No.
Okay, cool.
No. If you have too much length in it, so if they're really long this way, you're going to have bits flying everywhere when you're doing it, and that's going to get in the way. If you make them really small, really short this way, then it's going to be, you're going to have to be very fine and particular about the way you curl. So there is a happy medium, and that happy medium is 2 inches wide and 7.5 inches long, okay? Don't worry about measuring them all out though, okay? You can just eyeball it.
If I like maybe that.
Bit of that, okay? It's the way I cook as well. Bit of that, bit of that, bit of that. Alright, so I've got heaps of them in this little baggie. But you probably want to get yourself, I'm going to make up a number. I'll count how many I use and insert that later, because I'm not even going to know. So that's all I have. So if I was to actually count this up, even if you bought the t-shirt, let's say I bought the t-shirt for $7, just a cheap one, and the brush, because just say you don't have a brush.
I didn't have a brush until about 6 months ago.
I'm judging you. I'm judging you.
I
reckon
my hair in the shower
easily you could do this for $15 to $20 easily, but most of it you will already have. Keeping in mind that this is me being extra. You just use water. Just use water. It's fine. Let's get straight into it. Show you how it's done. So she just asked me, am I sleeping in it tonight? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Will it hurt? No. If it does, what do? You'll fix it, but it's not going to hurt. And if they say it's hurting, they're probably lying. Make sure they've got something to do though. They're going to be sitting there for a while. So do this in front of the TV. Kiara's got her phone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing this in sections. I'm going to show you how to do this from the bottom up, which I definitely recommend you do. The sections you do, they don't need to be massively precise. So we're just going to pull out a row of hair that's about about, can you turn your head to the right? Pull out a row of hair that when you pull it that way, it's about an inch. That bit of fluffiness hair down there, don't worry about. Now you could do this, if your hair was good, if you just need a curly ponytail, then you could put the hair in a ponytail and do these curls exactly the same method in the ponytail. But if you just want a really good full head of nice curls, then do it this way. Okay, so we're bringing out that section. Chuck the other, I've got a hair tie. Chuck the rest of it up in a, get it out of the way basically. Alright, so I'm going to brush her hair. Just give it a bit of a brush. We're going to spray it. And then brush it again, and that will distribute the water through it a bit more and make it damp. If their hair's like mine and it's really porous and it just soaks it up, like you might want to spray it underneath. The best time to do this is after they've had a shower and washed their hair. You don't need to have the hair really dirty and gritty, which is something I request for like day-old hair. So good to style. It's much better than clean hair. Clean hair is silky and hard and slips and gross. So we've got an inch, so head to side, an inchish thick this way, and you want no more than 1 centimetre in width. So you're working with a relatively small piece. Now you've got two options. What we're doing is rolling the hair around this. So it's going to go around, 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 around on that. Okay, I've got the little end in there. You want to make sure you get the ends in as much as you can, and then use the rest of the hair to cover it. Okay, but I did say you've got two options, and what your options are, it's already started to curl. Can you see that? Like, this is how good this method is. Alright, you can twist this piece of hair to start with. Don't twist it too tight, but you can twist it, and this is going to give you a much more ringleted effect. Ringleted? I don't know. So leave about the length of your piece, roughly, about that much. And I'm putting the curl piece of fabric under and curling around, 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 and then get this over the top of that end, because you don't want your ends hanging out straight, because the end is then going to be straight. And we don't want that. We want curls. 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 Okay, so that's curled right into her hair. Now I'm going to take the ends, I'm going to tie them in a knot. Tie it relatively tight. Did that hurt?
A little bit.
A little bit? Oh, well, we'll get used to it. I'm only tying it in a single knot. I don't think it needs more than that. On Kiara's hair, I'm going to spray with each piece. Not a whole bunch before, because her hair, the drier the hair, the more it's going to soak up the moisture, because it's gone. It's like, think of your hair as the desert, and you're like, oh my god, give me water. So as soon as you put moisture on it, it's going to grab it straight away. If you want a supernatural curl, Supernatural, great show, one of my favourites. Your hair's so long, I'm out of frame. If you want a really, really natural curl, then before I put that underneath and curl that way, curl them different ways at different times, because natural curls, let me tell you, natural curls don't all go the same way. Yeah, so you can put the piece under and wrap so that it's coming towards you, or you can put it on top so that it's wrapping away. Either way, it doesn't matter. The only thing I would say be consistent with is if you're going to wrap it, if you're going to twist the piece of hair first, then twist all of them. And I'm just twisting it a little bit, I'm not twisting heaps and heaps. Now, the reason I have the pins is you can see now this one is, it's sort of encroaching over here. It's not knowing its place. It's gotten out of line, and the dance teacher's like, stay lines! You! Stay in line! Okay, that's where you use a pin. If only we could just use pins to pin our dancers in place, but we can't. So we're going to use a pin, and we're just going to pin to the head and keep it out of the way. Okay, all up this took me about under an hour, I reckon, which I was impressed with. I thought it'd take longer. Now, I didn't do the front here. This is such a good look for Kiara. I didn't do the front because these bits here, the style I want to do for this is going to be a high ponytail.
Daddy?
Can you turn that down? Thank you. It's going to be a high ponytail, so these bits aren't going to be needing to be curled. So I'm just going to leave them. You can pin them out of the way or whatever. Sometimes what people do once the hair is all like this, you can see it's all in lovely little curls, just a little bit like a ragdoll Shirley Temple. Sometimes what people do is they'll wrap a scarf around it, or you can just leave it. It shouldn't fall out. Yeah, all good. I obviously didn't film the whole thing because we had to stop and make dinner and we've been watching a movie and all that, but you get the gist. So we're going to leave this overnight, and then the wonderful Kiara will wake up in the morning and I will take her rag curls out and we'll see how it looks. So Kiara, tell us what time it is.
Stupid o'clock.
Stupid o'clock.
8:20 a.m.
Yes, to most people that's just a normal time to get up, but yeah.
I wasn't going to get up until 10.
Yeah.
And then someone comes in. Kara, wake up! Kara!
Yeah, but I came with coffee.
It's comp morning! And
I came with coffee. Oh yeah, I pretended it was a comp morning.
It's comp day!
She's having like flashbacks. Oh my god! What dance am I doing? I don't remember. Count a hop down, Papa. So how was it last night sleeping with the rag curls in?
It was fine. I was fine. I'm used to sleeping with, you know, glad wrap.
Okay, I'm trying to do your hair. Don't look at the camera.
Sorry. No, it was fine. I didn't really struggle. It was good.
Cool. We're gonna definitely have to get your regrowth done at some point. All right, so we're about to go and take all of this out. So, because technology still hates me, there were issues. And the footage didn't work. And clearly I've already taken out all of the curls. And I'm not going to make Kiara do all of that again. I'm just not going to make it. And I don't want to do it all again. So, we're going to talk through it. So basically you've had the curl, the hair wrapped and blah, blah, blah. You start underneath. Okay? Start undo all the curls. Because you've only done them in a single knot, you just undo that knot. It's quite easy. Roll the curler down, or roll the fabric down. Try not to pull, because it hurts the dancer, but it's also going to target the curl itself. You'll find the ends of the curl, so you're rolling. You'll find when you get to the little ends, especially if you were like me and you put a bit too much setting spray type product on it, you might find that they get a little bit like gritty and tight, and just gently take them out. One of the things that happens with tight curls is you get frizziness if you separate them too much, or if you've got like one strand on its own. So a really good trick to helping with that is to put a little bit of hair oil. You could use olive oil as well, like just regular kitchen olive oil. I really like this Daily Oil Elixir from Schwarzkopf, and I put just a little drop of it on your fingertips. Rub it into your fingertips before you take the curls out, and then as you're taking them out, it's going to make the hair a little bit more slippery, so it's going to help them to sit better. But if you see there, it actually, if you put it onto the hair as well, it can make it a nice and shiny and healthy looking again. So you're going from the bottom and working your way up. I'd recommend it once you've taken out say 1 or 2 rows, then grab some hairspray. I'm a big fan of this cheapy stuff from Aldi, the Protein brand. I really like it. So you've taken the hair out, the curls out. You haven't separated them yet. We did manage to take a photo though when we took them out before we'd separate them, and I'll insert that here because it's so cute. So when they're still in this tight, haven't dropped, haven't pulled them down or anything stage, spray lightly with hairspray. So just do like a quick overview, like wash over. Don't get close. You're not spraying like this, and you're not spraying each one. Just boom over, and then continue on until all the curls are out. When the curls are out, if you have some, I'm going to get you to turn your head to the back. If you have some like these in here that just didn't quite work for whatever reason, then what I recommend you do is curl them back around your finger. This is sort of like creating what we call a pin curl, and then pin it in on itself, spray it with hairspray, and just let it sit a bit longer in that curled position. But also just remember, if they're underneath, it's not really going to matter all that much. Yeah, so once you're happy with all the curls as they're taken out, then what you want to do is separate them and pull them down. Now we're not going to brush the curls, you can use a wide tooth comb, but the best, definitely the best thing to use is your fingers. So you basically grab wherever you think the curl is just a bit too tight and a bit too just not right. You grab it and you want to separate them. For the size that we were doing, I would go with separating it into 2 and let it go. Again, if you find that you're getting these fuzzy bits at the end, grab some shine serum and just curl it around your finger in the oil, with the oil or the serum. And then you'll get this lovely massive amount of curls. And when Kiara went to her appointment today, she saw somebody that she has been, like a doctor that you've been seeing for quite a while now, and she thought it might have been your natural hair, that maybe you straighten it all the time. Yeah. And that's because this sort of curl, like when you have a look at it, it does look natural because they're not all going the same way, they're not all exactly the same size. And it's really, it's quite beautiful. Now, this is how I styled it for Kiara today. I'll just stand up. So what I did was I just grabbed sections at the front that I kind of just wanted to get out of the way, and I take it back, don't pull, sorry, that's the wrong word. Take it back, give it 1 or 2 twists, and then to give it a bit of volume at the front, I pushed forward. You don't have to do that push forward, but I like that bit of extra volume in the front. This is really great style for a lot of your theatrical routines, so tap or musical theatre type routines, Broadway, that kind of thing. Same on the other side. And this was mostly just to hide those straight fringe sections at the front. You could go back through with bits like this. They didn't straighten because they were the fringe sections at the front. You could go through and just use like a hot curling wand or something to give that a bit of curl. I'm not going to bother. I'm just, with the amount of hair Kiara's got, you're just not going to see those bits. So I'm just going to put them underneath. You can just pin them in underneath if you want, but who cares? They'll probably stay. With the amount of hair she's got, you're not going to see it. What you'll find as well when you've got curls, the shape that the hair wants to go into is a pyramid. Natural curls or fake curls like this, your hair wants to pyramid, and it's not always the most flattering of styles. It looks great from, actually that looks really nice, but sometimes it'll just sort of sit out to the sides and things like that. But you can just pin and keep moving things until you've got the shape that you want. But also remember, don't try to make things so perfect. Okay, so then what I would do is, for stage, I would neaten up this part. Neaten if that's probably a little bit bouffant-y. Just neaten it up, braid in. If you've got a headband or a headpiece or something, one of those little like pillbox, cocktail style, fascinator style, wonderful, you know, it's lovely. But isn't that pretty? Look. It's so nice, it's so lovely. But if you wanted to go for something a little more classic, straightforward, chuck it in a ponytail, take out those pins obviously, and just hair in a pony, turn to the side. Because holy smokes, look at that, it's so much more natural and real looking than a wiglet. This top, I made this from the remnants of cutting this. So I cut here. Now I've got a little cute cropped tee that I really like wearing. My Spider-Man cropped tee. It's comfy. So, you know, reuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, all of that. I love doing hair and makeup, and I've been doing it for quite a while within the dance world, and I've worked a little bit professionally as well. So if you want to know how to do a particular hairstyle, please ask me, write it in the comments, and I will add it to my list of videos. I've got a really big list, but you might find it's already on that list. So if there's a dance style that you want, I'm not really going to put much time towards, you know, I'd really like to do like a messy top knot for when I go out. Like, that's not my channel. Dance related things. But yeah, if there's a dance style that you'd like a tutorial for, and teachers, this is where I'm really talking to you. If you really want your students to be doing braided hair, for example, but you keep getting complaints from parents that they don't know how to do braids, and you're like, oh, it's too difficult, whatever, don't worry about it, then let me know and I will do how to braid. I'll do a tutorial for you and put it on. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, because I'm random AF as to when I actually upload, so the notification bell will let you know when I upload rather than me trying to keep to a schedule. And please share these videos, any of my videos, with whoever you think would benefit from watching them. Okay, thanks guys, and thank you Kiara so much for letting me pull your hair for 24 hours. and for refilming this last part. Bye guys.